Buen dia. The one day I wore my hair curly to school, grown adult people started grabbing my locks. Someone grabbed like my scalp. I should have just said, oye, cuidado, tío. People are just a lot more physical here. I once saw a male teacher touching a female student on the shoulder. Wow. Would never happen in America. Gotcha. Save that for blackmail later. I've met 40-year-old men who have invited me to their home, which is to say, to their parents' home. Don't worry, I said no, gracias. In the US, our culture is that you're out of the house by the time you're 21, but in Spain and Andorra, you could be there until you're married. Some parents are even afraid of their kids. That's a phenomenon in the United States too. This basically makes my job as a teacher more like a parent, because discipline is lacking. One time I took away this kid's iPad. He cussed me out, grabbed my sweatshirt, flipped over a table, snatched the iPad, and stormed out of class. That was a horrible day for me. No consequences for him. One kid told me that he brought an AK-47 to pew dead the school. I told the other teachers, and they said, no worries, that type of violent stuff only happens in America. I was like, yeah, sure, okay. Andorra is arguably the safest country in all of Europe, so kids are often out at night by themselves on a school night even. They're very free and they're very present in adult spheres, which doesn't usually happen in the United States. There's a big distinction between adults and kids in Andorra. Kids are invited into adult conversations. They don't fear adults at all, which I think could be a very good thing for their confidence and for the way they navigate the world. But it's a very difficult thing to teach them because I'm not your friend, Mikkel. The good thing is though, because they aren't afraid to speak their minds, they speak up when they see something that's unfair. Andorrans are definitely very expressive people, so the kids are immune to yelling because that's the only discipline they ever receive. You just kind of laugh it off. There are 3 systems in Andorra: the French, the Spanish, and Andorran. I'm in the Andorran system. So in the Andorran system, the kids go to primary school at a young age. Don't remember what it is, didn't feel like researching it, sorry. Then they go to secondary school, which is where I teach, ages from 12 to 16. After the secondary school, they can choose if they want to go to a technical school to learn a trade, or you can go to bachelorette, which is kind of like a junior college. There's only one university in Andorra, and it's really small. My school, the secondary school, is considered the ghetto Bronx, which is to say it's a normal school. It just has the most immigrants, so I guess that makes it the ghetto school. It's like everywhere I go, I just can't escape people misusing ghetto and the N-word. It's funny because you'll see graffiti that says F the police. The police in Andorra are like super nice. They just heard it on TV, so they write it on the walls. So I have 12 classes, 5 that are basically like freshmen and 5 that are basically like sophomore. Then I have 1 advanced English class and 1 special ed class because I'm qualified to teach special ed. Just kidding, I have no certifications. They have a system called Primsea. It's a new thing that they're instituting where basically the students are in charge of their own learning, which is a wonderful idea. But it requires discipline. You can give an assignment, you can explain your heart out, they can nod and agree with you and say they know what they're doing, and at the end of the class, nothing's done. Then you ask why, and they say, well, I didn't know what we were doing. Why didn't you ask? The number 1 problem that Spanish and Andorran Fulbrighters encounter is discipline. Thankfully though, that I chose Andorra because our system is pretty put together in terms of the administration. Kids are in school from the beginning of September until the end of June, from 8:30 to 5, and it's great for working parents. They get a 30-minute recess and a 1-hour lunch. They also get 6 weeks off from school for religious holidays, although almost all of my kids are atheists. Someone told me, yeah, we don't go to church. It's not very European. This is what they learn. The classes should be taught in Catalan, but sometimes they're taught in different languages. Maybe your math is taught by a French teacher, your history is taught by a Spanish teacher. The students stay in one room and all the teachers come to them. There aren't any textbooks, which I think is a really positive thing when it comes to intentional and truthful teaching. But it does make it tough for logistics, especially if the kids might forget their iPads that day. So teachers have to find their own resources. Please, kiss a teacher. They raise your kids for $12K a month. By the way, people get paid monthly here. These are the units that I teach about, but I have a lot of free reign, so each class has about 24 to 32 students, but I only teach half classes. So 12 classes, 12 students, that's 144. I see them for once a week, for one semester, then I switch to the other half. That's another 144 students that I see once a week. So imagine what a certified teacher must feel like at the end of a year. As a lectora, I'm supposed to do verbal practice. But then I realized a lot of them don't know how to form sentences in Catalan either. You need a verb and a noun to form a sentence. And don't forget to capitalize and put a period. Rough. This is the part that breaks my heart. Most of my kids don't like to read, and many of them proudly claim that they have never read a full book. Listen, this isn't just a problem in Andorra, it's also a problem in America. Does this mean that they are not educated? Not at all. It was just a culture shock for me to see the differences in how schools are. Sophomores say that they haven't seen a periodic table of elements yet, or they've never heard of a metaphor, but they can go to almost any country in the world and get around because they speak 4 different languages. So it had me thinking. Education used to just be mentoring, but I think Socrates might have ruined that whole private lesson life. Eureka! Now it's an industrialized system. I don't know how we can fix this because teachers are burnt out. They have too many students. Every classroom should always have at least 2 teachers. There's too many kids that need private lessons, and the reminder that education isn't just about grades. In fact, it shouldn't be about grades at all. In the meantime, just remember that there's a reason for bad students. Show them affection and attention. Remember that something that probably has nothing to do with you has led to this behavior, and I guarantee you at the end of the semester they will hug you. And you will be shocked and confused the student that just harassed you the entire year, but I guess it's a touching moment. Shout out to every teacher, attentive student, tutor, professors. Adeu.